I'm playing a game. I'm playing a game. I'm playing a game upstairs.
What do you play?
You want to come see it?
I can see after I'm done with the training. Cool. Would that be okay?
No.
You're live on the internet right now. Is there anything you want to say?
I am a baby.
And what else? What does ISOT do? What else do you want to say to everybody?
5.
Vitamins? Mommy takes what kind of vitamins? Nutriverse? Say hi.
Hey.
Hi. This is how we start our training calls, right? Yes.
Yeah,
And do you want to tell anybody anything about their business?
No, yeah.
No or yes?
There.
Can you count how many teeth you have in there? You can't count them? Huh.
Yes.
And I can't put you down? We got to give everybody some time because Mommy changed the link. Woo! What was that? Do not bite me. That hurts me. And don't hit me. Thank you. Bye. Everybody that's on and currently viewing, I am not just telling you guys to do it, I'm actually doing it myself. Send out actual text messages reminding your business partners to get on.
No.
Send out as many as you can the next few minutes. Let's send Katie the email again. You guys send as many as you can. Hold on, we got to invite Katie back. Let's see.
No, stop.
All right, you guys, I see a couple of you guys are on already. We have 9 viewers. Send out last minute text messages right now to everybody to make sure that they hop on, okay? This is going to be a good call. I'll be up there in a minute, girls, okay? Ow, ow! Hey, it worked. Okay, I'm telling everybody, I'm sending out last minute text messages right now since there was a change in the link. So I'm telling everybody that's on, we have 9 viewers on now. Send out your text messages right now with the link. So all they have to do is click it, make it easy for them. Hey, Katie girl.
What's up?
You guys.
Are we like live or like recording?
Yeah, we're live and recording right now. Everybody can see
Okay.
our foolishness. So we can't
I
talk
should
about
not
my
be-
boobs again. But send out some last minute text messages.
Got it.
Olivia is upstairs, you guys, having a fit right now. Let's see. Who else needs this message? Okay, let me send it to you, girl. Okay, guys, we're up to 12 viewers. Send out your text messages. Oh, I want to go save Olivia. She sounds really upset. Where are your kids at, Katie? It's nice and quiet over there.
Oh my goodness, I'm so spoiled. My mom took them for a sleepover.
Why did everybody say that I was sending them the wheels on the bus go round and round?
Yes, that's what I got too.
Is it
I gotta
really?
email them. Well, that's what it came up as. Did you name it
Oh
weird? or
my
something?
gosh, that's so funny. I'm sure everybody probably got a kick out of that. Hold on, let me try this again. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Pretty
Yeah, I just saw
high.
that. I was like, what is this? Talking about diabetes and wheels on the bus.
All over the place, girl. All over the place. That's
Always.
because that's my whole feed, you guys. Okay, here it is. Hangouts on air. Okay.
Talking about diabetes and
Okay, there we go. Okay, let me fix that and send it to everybody. All you guys are gonna laugh me out after this. Like, girl, go. It's your life. Listen, it took me to Wheels on the Bus. Okay, Ashley, I got you, girl. She says, I'm on, I see you. Good, we're live and kicking. All right, sending out to your last. Just these other people that I accidentally sent Wheels on the Bus go round and round to. Isn't it weird not having to welcome people? I'm so excited though because I can see how many viewers there are and people are actually participating. I'm so happy.
I know. Welcome everybody. Thanks for getting on.
I know we don't get to have our little small talk that we usually have, you know. Kikiing it up on Tuesdays with the girls.
Okay.
Shay, is that your phone that's making that noise?
Maybe. Are you texting?
I cannot. Okay. All right, I'm turning my phone off so you guys actually call me if there's something wrong and you can't hear me. I wish I had a stool to sit on, but I had to remove them all from my kitchen because my kids like to scoot them over to whatever they're not supposed to be getting and stand on them. So we have these miniature chairs I'm considering standing on. Okay, you guys, there's a lot of stuff that I want to share with you this week. So what I did was, Katie, will you mute? Do you know how to mute on there? Can you mute while you're talking?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
no vibration. But anyway, so there's a lot that I want to share with you guys. I literally took the past 30 minutes to write some notes to make sure that I got it all and have my highlighter here. So I'm going to cross it off as I go and try and get through it as soon as possible. But my goal here is that I really want you guys to feel the exact same way that I'm feeling right now. I called Katie today and she's like, how many NRGs did you take? And I was like, girl, not enough. It's literally just like TLC energy going off, okay? So a lot of people, I want you guys to start by understanding that you have what it takes to be successful in this business, okay? That's where I want you to start the mindset off with this call. You have what it takes, no matter what your situation is, no matter what. You are no different than me. You are no different than Katie. You are no different than Stormy Wellington. It's just a series of actions that separates you from where you want to be. And it's really about income producing activity. So that's what we're going to talk about on tonight's call. But you have an opportunity here of a lifetime, and a lot of you guys don't really understand what you have your hands on. Okay, you get in this business and you don't understand, or you don't know that it's a real business. You're like, oh, okay, this is just a way to make a little bit of extra money on the side. But what you need to realize is that sometimes this is someone's full-time job. This is how they make their money. This is how James Dentley made over $1 million. This is how Stormy Wellington has made over $2-3 million. Like, people are getting rich here. So this is an actual business, and you have to treat it like a business if you want it to pay like a business. Okay, there are certain activities that need to take place in order for you to treat it like a business. If you just wake up every day and you might have the nerve to talk to someone, or you may do this, or everything's a maybe or a if, or anything like that, then the things aren't going to happen. Okay, you've already set some limitations on yourself, but you don't have a boss in this business to tell you what to do. Okay, you are your own boss, so you need to make sure that you're doing the activities. You are the only person to hold yourself accountable, because you're the only one that's going to reap the benefits. Okay, so like I said, if you want this to pay like a business, like if you have high hopes of this replacing your income or largely supplementing your income, then you need to be doing what it takes to get that. Okay, if you want it to pay like a business, you need to treat it like a business. If you just want it to pay like a hobby, if it's just a little bit of extra spending money and you don't really have that much of a high goals, then that's cool. You can treat it like a hobby and just do a referral whenever you want to and get 50% off on your products. Okay, but if you want to treat it like a business, let's go to work. Got him. So a lot of people join this business and they tell a person here, or they use a product there. Because I've been in this business, I know what it takes. And I too am guilty sometimes of not running my business the way that I should. If you followed me around the first couple of months that I started this business, I was telling everybody. If you were in Atlanta with me exactly a year ago, Lauren knows that I was telling everybody I saw. I had a whole suitcase. Half of my suitcase was flyers. And I too, am guilty of not running my business how I did when I first started. But because I am in this business, I've been in this industry for a couple years now, I know what it takes. I know what's needed. And I can tell who's putting in the required effort on a consistent basis because they're getting results, okay? So I want to encourage you guys, first and foremost, to stay in touch, okay? You want to stay in touch with not only your sponsor, because you never know. Some days you may be the one that needs to motivate your sponsor. You never know what they're going through that day. Stay in touch with your sponsor. Let them know what you're up to. Let them know what you're doing. Get their opinions on things. But also if you don't know today, find your upline and your lifeline. Your lifeline are the people above you that are in leadership ranks in the organization. So anybody that's on this call is under me. I am your executive director. Austin Freeman is your regional director. Dee and Ray Davis are your national directors. James Dentley is your global director. And then above that, you have Kenny Lloyd, vice president of North American sales. Okay, that is your lifeline. So, if you want to, if you're serious about this and you want to be connected with everybody to make sure that you stay involved, you can ask your sponsor to three-way me. You can ask your sponsor to three-way me, to three-way Austin, and set up these calls so that you stay plugged in and feel plugged in with your lifeline, okay? But I really encourage you guys to stay in touch with them, because we've experienced everything that you're going through in your business 9 times out of 10. If there's someone in a rank above you, we've experienced what you're going through, okay? So we can relate. We can tell you how we got through it, so you don't have to go through the battle alone. There's books about it probably, okay? So right now I want to distinguish activity that you should be doing, and I want to set it apart from busy work. And I want you guys to really learn how to tell the difference. The activity that it takes to be successful in this industry, in network marketing, specifically is prospecting and closing. Prospecting and closing. Prospecting, closing, building. Prospecting, closing, building. Prospecting, closing, building. Over and over and over again. Any other skill that you learn or that we teach is a way to do one of those three things better, okay? So those are the things that you need to focus on a daily basis. Not, I mean, definitely you need to focus on your social media, you know, talking to 4 people a day, because that's going to increase your network and the amount of people that you can prospect and close and build. Social media will help you do that as well. But the things that you need to focus on and make sure you're doing on a daily basis is prospecting. So inviting people to hear the information, inviting them to an opportunity call, inviting them to a meeting, inviting them to an event, inviting them to a virtual grand opening. That's prospecting. Building your network is a part of that. Closing, you know, you get them on the line, and the last question should be, what package are you ready to start with tonight? That's closing, okay? Close the deal, get them enrolled, and you want to repeat that process. Recruit, close, and then you want to help that person build. So that's the process, okay? Those 2 things mainly is what you want to focus on, okay? You can only help someone build so much, but you can always recruit new people into the business and close them, okay? Those are the main activities, okay? Busy work is everything else that you're doing to avoid doing those 2 things, okay? Or to help you to do those 2 things, like social media. All that stuff is extra stuff in the side. Your main 2 things that you should be doing is making 5 phone calls a day, inviting them to hear the information, and closing them. Now, the busy work is learning how to do that a little bit better, but you need to be doing that in order to learn, okay? So activity versus busy work. Look at what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Write it down. You know, keep a scorecard. If you think that you're doing everything in your TLC business that you could be doing, keep a scorecard of exactly what you're doing, and think how many of these things are relating to prospecting, closing, or building, okay? And that's how you can see where the majority of your time is spent. We talked about it on my webinar, not my webinar, my video that I recorded for you guys last week, because I was stuck in Atlanta. But you have to fall in love with the process, okay? Because some weeks are better than others. Some weeks you may have to turn your business off completely, and still be doing the activity. I'm still drinking my tea, whether or not I'm posting it on Instagram, okay? You have to fall in love with the process and become the person that you want to attract, okay? You've enrolled people into this business. Let me put this into perspective. If you've enrolled people into this business, those people joined you in business. They're looking at what you're doing. You know, maybe they're connected to us now, but they're still looking at what you're doing. And, you know, if you're not consistent with your business, those people are going to be doing the same things that you're doing. If you're not consistent in your business, they're going to fall off. They're going to quit. And then when you're ready to start again in 2 or 3 weeks, they're going to be nowhere to be found because they've already quit the business. So you have to stay consistent. You have to fall in love with that process, okay? Do you think that these people are going to continue to do work? If you don't, they joined you in business. They didn't join TLC Corporate. They joined you. They joined Jackie Matikas. So you have to make sure that you're putting in the consistent work to keep your business going and to motivate the people that are around you that joined you in business, okay? Look, we already got through 1 page of notes. But you have to know, this is going to be the most important thing that I'm going to say tonight, because everything else that I'm going to say, you've already heard it, okay? But it's going to take some work, and I know that it's going to take some work because I've done it. You'll see on my social media page, you'll see here, you'll see there, that I'm constantly putting in the work, okay? I don't sleep. I have relationship problems. My eyebrows sometimes don't match if you look at them right here, okay? I get it, but my desire for success is bigger than, hello, can I help you? Okay. My desire for success is bigger than that, okay? Do you want to say hi?
Yeah.
Come on.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. My desire, like I said, my desire for success is bigger than that. My eyebrows don't need to match, you know, in order for me to make money in this business. So that's not a priority to me. That's not an excuse. But sometimes when I hear the excuses as to why people think that they aren't where they want to be in their business, or as to why they can't, why anybody, I won't say you guys because I don't want to point the finger, but sometimes the excuses I hear as to why you can't do something for yourself to get where you want to go really baffles me. Hold on, I got to update. You want to update now? No, it really baffles me because I cannot want it more than you do. Trust me, I see a lot in you. I see, you know, so much potential, but I can't do the work for you as much as I would want to. Some of you guys suffer from a 9-to-5 mindset. You've been working for somebody else for so long that you're, you're okay with the 9-to-5 and you're complacent building someone else's dream. Now, I'm not saying quit your job, but what I'm saying is don't go to work for somebody else from 9-to-5 and then not come home and work on yourself. You're building someone else's dream when you could be at home building your own, whether it's TLC or not, okay? So the 9-to-5 mindset is the 40-40-40 plan. You're working 40 hours a week for 40 years to retire on 40% of what already can't, cut it for you, okay? So like I said, don't go to work for someone else and then not come home and spend 5 to 9 o'clock working on you to better yourself, to provide more value for the marketplace, to increase your net worth, okay? So I want to go over some income producing activities tonight that are going to help you with your TLC business. And I'm going to briefly go over, the first couple of things you should do when you start, even though it's in the checklist and you guys should know it now because it's listed everywhere. The first thing, like I said, is staying connected. Plug in. You have a lot of resources available. Whether your sponsor quits or not, you will be able to run your TLC business. So stay connected, plug in. Some of these things should be ingrained in your memory. I know that every Monday and Tuesday night, whether it's posted, there's a training call. I know that every single night at 10 o'clock p.m., there's an opportunity call. At 9 a.m., there's a wake up and win call. I know when certain events are going on because I'm connected, I'm plugged in, I'm constantly checking Facebook and other outlets, okay? But you should have reminders set on your phone for training calls, okay? You should be checking in with your sponsors, like I said, just to figure out what they're doing, what's going on. And you should be checking in with the Facebook group, you guys. A lot of people are asking me, oh, what's the link to the webinar, or asking me to register for the webinar, not knowing, you guys, that I put the link for the webinar up at least 4 or 5 days beforehand because I want you guys to treat it like it's your webinar. You should be posting it. You should be collecting registrations, but the link is up there, so you guys have access to it. And a lot of other stuff that I feel like, I just don't go online and post this stuff for my own well-being. It's information that I think that you'll really enjoy and benefit from. So it would be in your best interest, if this is what you want to be successful in, to go and check it at least 2 times a day, maybe once in the morning and once at night if you don't have your notifications set for Facebook. But it will really benefit you, not only from what I post, but Katie posts, wealth of information. I think Tammy's been posting a lot about NRG, like Lauren posts, which everybody's posting in there. So it's not just my experience with TLC and what I think you should be doing, but it's a network where we should all be coming together and lifting each other up. So make sure you're checking in with the Facebook group. Number 2, set your why and set up your goals. Your why is your superpower. It's the difference from me saying walk across this bridge and you being like no, and me saying walk across this bridge because your baby's on the other side about to jump off. And you're like, okay, I'm not scared at all anymore. Here I go, I'm going to do it. Find your why power that's going to give you the momentum and the motivation to put in the work every single day, whether you're seeing results, okay? Your goals. You need to figure out what it is you're using TLC for, okay? Number 1, we all, of course, are joined because we want to make money. But beyond that, what is that money going to do to fulfill you, okay? Now, when you have your why and your goals, you want to share it with your sponsor. It's going to help us understand how serious you are about TLC. Do you want to just make $200 a week? Do you not have a goal in mind? You're just like, oh, here and there, wherever it is. It's going to show us how serious you are and how much that you want to make. It's like a negotiation process. If you tell me you want to make $2,000 a week when you first join, I'm going to say, okay, this is what it takes to do it. So I need to know what your goals are in order to show you how much activity you need to be doing, how many names I think that you need to get on a list, okay? It isn't, another thing that I want to tell you guys about is using your product. You hear it over and over and over, become a product of your product. Now, what I'm telling you is whether I post it or not, I'm drinking this tea on a daily basis because I love it. Whether I post it or not, hold on. Whether I post it or not, I am addicted to energy. I have 3 bottles of it in here, okay? I take it on a daily basis, okay? So a lot of people are like, oh, one of the activities is using a product and exercising. That's stuff that you should be doing on a daily basis regardless, okay? Because you shouldn't be a rep in this company if you aren't head over heels in love with this product. And if you're head over heels in love with this product, then it's going to follow that you are going to tell a friend, that you are going to want to share it with everyone you know, because you want them to be healthier, you want them to be happier, you want them to be skinnier so they are, more in shape or healthier for their confidence levels. You want them to have a longer, happier life, okay? So it starts with falling in love with the product, because if you don't love what you're selling, you aren't transparent. You know, people are going to know you're being fake. We can smell a fake a mile away. Okay. So, you know, if you aren't using the product, if you don't like the product, you know, or at least one of them, then quit your business right now, because you're not going to get anywhere in life selling something that you don't believe in. Okay. Next, we talked about using your product, your virtual grand opening, your grand opening. One of these two things need to happen, or both. A virtual grand opening, I'm basically going over what Pam McCrae talked about in the training call last night that I posted on Facebook. If you haven't listened to it, listen again, because it will, it'll really ingrain this in your memory. But a virtual grand opening is going to help you grow your business. And then when you enroll people or get customers, when you recruit people through these virtual grand openings, you're going to use the virtual grand opening to duplicate in your organization. So for instance, if I called Katie and like, hey girl, I know we haven't talked since middle school, since that time I got expelled from the softball thing, but I know that you're going to be really, really good at this because you're training for a living. Do you have some time tonight at 9 to hop on a call? I thought of you first, and I really would like you to get on and be in front of a movement that's about to take place here in the area. And Katie hops on. Katie decides to join my business very quickly. Then when Katie joins my business, I say, Katie, figure out your why, figure out your goals, plug into the system. Let's do a virtual grand opening within your first 48 hours, okay? Because you usually have 1 to 3 days before someone's momentum starts to go downhill, okay? So I would use this, and I would very quickly help Katie tap into her network to get some money back into her pockets as soon as possible, okay? So this is going to help you duplicate within the organization, but you need to set aside some time to build. That's why I said prospect, close, build. Prospect, close, prospect, close, prospect, close, build. Building is essential too, because that's what's going to give you the residual income. And that's what's so cool about network marketing. Yeah, you can sell tea on your own time whenever, but what's cool about network marketing is leveraging the time of others so that you don't have to work, you don't have to put in time to get paid, okay? So when you ignite that building aspect of it, that's when you're going to start making money while you're rolling over in bed at night. And that's what we all want, right? That's the American dream. More time, more money. So the virtual grand opening. Think about this. When a brand new, I just know that Chipotle just opened right at the corner of Watkins Park Drive. When a new Chipotle opens, when a new Starbucks opens, when your new favorite store opens or something, you know, opens, people have a grand opening. It's a launch. They don't just, turn the open sign on their door and expect people to come running because they think that they know about it. They do a launch. They put out coupons. They put on door hangers. They, do a social media blast. They do all this fun stuff. They have that little guy floating around outside, saying, come here for business, right? So don't laugh at me, Katie. But when a company or store opens, they have a grand opening to let the world know that they are open for business, okay? There's flags, there's signs, there's those blow-up men. This is a business, you guys. So understand that in your mindset, TLC is your business. You started a business, okay? It's simply run from the home, but there are certain activities that you need to do in order to remember that this is a business to get paid like a business, okay? Look, that's another page of notes. I'm doing good, aren't I, Katie? Yeah, girl. But anyway, so you want to wake up with that mindset, knowing that TLC is a business. It's not just a hobby. You aren't just drinking this tea as a customer. You are treating it like a business to get paid for a business. So your first goal, like I said, is to put money back into the pockets of the people that join you, okay? You want to reinforce their why they join the company. They want to make money, so help them make money real quick so they can see what they have their hands on in order to get more excited about it, okay? So the way you do this is from retailing products, right? You can send someone to your website from the second you join to buy products or join as an IBO, and you make money right back. When you get your products in the mail, when you have it on hand and someone wants it right away, you can sell that little bottle of NRG for $60 and say, this will get you through 30 days of the gym. I guarantee you will run like there is a little hedgehog chasing you, okay? You can sell that bottle for $60 and make a profit. So this virtual grand opening that I'm telling you guys about is another way to make money right from the start. It's a way to launch your business very quickly, because sometimes hosting a tea party or an in-person event can take a little bit longer to facilitate, right? And we're also constrained to a certain radius around us. For instance, you know, I can't just get up and drive to Utah tomorrow. I may be able to get up and drive to Pennsylvania or get up and drive to another part of Maryland, but I'm constrained by the limitations. And sometimes when people start their business, they may not want to invest a lot of money to hop on a plane right away because they haven't seen the return. So a virtual grand opening is utilizing technology to help you facilitate this grand opening and leverage someone else's time. Okay, this can either be done as a webinar like we're doing now, and you can get all your friends and people to get on a webinar, or you can do it through a basic calling line. freeconferencecall.com is free. You can record it. You can record yourself and listen to yourself talking. You can record it and play it back, you know, at any time. So this virtual grand opening is a private call to launch your business. So it's very similar, yes, to an opportunity call. But the difference is that you will be in the beginning. You will be hosting the call, and your sponsor or your upline will be your presenter and presenting the information because they may know it a little bit better than you think you know it after your first 2 days of joining, right? So a virtual grand opening is a private call. The difference is that you'll be able to welcome people by name. They'll hear your voice in the beginning. They'll hear your story and your testimony, and they trust you a little bit more, okay? They may not respect you, but they trust you a little bit more than a random stranger that they know because they've dealt with you in the past, or they know who you are. They know your brother, sister, cousin, you know, little Jerry, whatever. So amateurs just join this business, but professionals launch it. So you need to have a virtual grand opening launching your business. This is going to allow you to leverage someone else's story and someone else's time. You'll have your, your person, your sponsor on it. You can use me. I will love to do a virtual grand opening for you. You'll be able to hear my, they'll say, this is Jackie or whatever. I get on the line. I'm like, oh my goodness, you guys, I'm so excited to tell you about TLC. And I share my story about how I'm the #1 retailer and recruiter in the world and how I've lost, 30 pounds. If you don't have a story, use someone else's, okay? But this is a private party on the phone. It's just like me coming to your house, except it's done through technology in your living room at any time of day that you want to, right? That's awesome. But there's a certain psychology behind it. People will hear their names, they'll hear your voice, and you're going to connect to a person who has some type of authority that they don't know. It's like the Wizard of Oz effect, okay? The Wizard of Oz was some strange man with a loud voice behind a thing, and he had this loud voice, and you could come to him for a heart, a brain, from afar, just off the base of a referral from someone that you trusted, okay? Same effect goes here. They'll hear your names, they'll hear your voice, and they'll hear it to a connection of an expert. And this is where you start to build relationships. This is network marketing. You have to build these relationships and facilitate these relationships in order to get where you want to go, okay? So the main 3 things that people want to find out in a call or through a question and answer is it real? Can I do it? And will I have help? So these are the things that you want to kind of address. Is it real? Not only are you saying it's real, but now you're connecting it to someone who's made a lot of money or lost a lot of weight. Can I do it? Yes. If I can do it, everybody can do it. And will they have help? Yes. Not only will you have me as your sponsor, but you'll also have this young lady who is my upline, and she'll be helping you, okay? You'll be able to share your story and your testimony or your aspirations, your why, things of that nature, your favorite products, and it'll be able to get their attention, but then your sponsor upline will also be able to share theirs, okay? The best days to do these are Sunday through Thursday. You do not want to do them on a Friday or Saturday. That's party time and people are celebrating being off work. But Sunday, they're thinking about going back to work. So they may be dreading Monday, and it may be a great time to present a business where they don't have to hate Mondays anymore. And then Thursday, of course, is a payday, okay? So Saturday is usually a family day. Sunday during the day is church and stuff, food, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what normal people do on a Sunday because I'm always working. But Sunday is usually church, I guess. So Sunday night is great because they're starting to get back in the swing of things. They're in bed. They can plug in a headphone, whatever. Okay. But we talked about building off of a home party is slower because it takes longer time. People want to get everything perfect before they started. They want to make sure that they have 3 different tea recipes and a full chef or whatever to start, to start bringing people into their house. They don't want to do it as quickly. But if you do a virtual grand opening, it's literally people getting on a conference call line. We talked about that. We talked about building your organization. But yeah, it's cool because you can do it from anywhere and utilize technology. Next, Building a list. Is it raining? Everybody hates this part, building their list, and they think it's irrelevant. And I know that because I thought it was irrelevant too. Like, what do I need to build a list? I can just go through my contacts on my phone and send a text message to every single person. And that's what I did when I first started the last company, and quickly realized that that did not work. Text messages are really informal, and it's more of like a mass type of message. Unless you text them and you start off with, hey girl, how are you? You have a full-on conversation, and then you tailor the pitch in little messages at a time. You don't send a mass message with a picture of the call flyer to someone, because they're not going to respond to it. It's really raining, you guys. But yeah, you need to physically write this down. This is a relationship business, so you need to figure out, who do you know? This business is not built on having a lot of capital, okay? It's not a brick and mortar business like a tattoo shop where you got to build everything. You got to pay to get the floor installed. You got to buy tattoo chairs. You got to buy ink. You got to buy all this stuff. All you need is product, which is tea, and your capital is your list. It's built on people. So you got to figure out, who do you know, okay? Your list should always be growing, okay? I don't have my notebook anywhere around me, but anybody who knows, I think Katie was like, you literally have like 10 books in your bag at all times. But if you open up one of them, you'll see multitudes of lists. And it's not just my TLC list. I keep lists everywhere in my house. If you guys actually want to see, just so you know that I do this, like, this is one of the lists in my house. It's my kid's schedule, okay? It's an amount of money that I need to deposit into my wedding account, okay? I don't play with this stuff. You need to physically write it down, so you can physically check it off and have a hard copy. If it's in your phone, it can get lost with your emails and all that. You have a list and you tape it to your refrigerator, it's there and you can always access it. Woo, I'm tired. I feel like I just ran a mile. But anyways, your list should always be growing. So if you're crossing off 3 or 4 people on your list, first of all, you should never cross them off. If you do it with a highlighter so you can still see their name through it, because a no is not a no, it's a not right now. So you can always follow up with them in 6 months and say, hey, I don't know if you saw it, but I just collected a $20,000 check at my first TLC corporate event. And I know you said no before, but I was wondering if maybe that might have sparked your interest a little bit. Okay, so it's not a no, it's a not right now. So you have your highlighter, you can still see the name, but know that maybe an orange highlighter means check back in 6 months. Maybe a pink highlighter means check back in 2 weeks. Maybe no highlighter means that they're interested and you need to give more information or schedule something else. But you need to expose this, which is really cool that you can do it on a call. Expose it to everybody that you know, and you're only on one phone call. That allows you to leverage time. You don't have to call 26 different people individually. You do to invite them, but not for the actual presentation of the information that takes 30 to 40 minutes, okay? So let's see. Another question that I wrote down right here is, how much of the market share do you want to take? So when you're making this list and you're thinking, oh, little JoJo won't want to do it, oh, Katie's little cousin won't want to do it, oh, HB will hate me if I did this. Like, instead of doing that, you write down everybody's name that you can possibly think of. You let them decide for themselves, because you're going to be mad if I come around the corner and meet your friend at your cookout and enroll them into TLC. You would be mad if they join with me, right? Because you never formally proposed the invitation to them. I'm saying, hey girl, I believe in you and you should join this company. And what are they gonna say? Yes or no. You either have 2 answers. If it's a no, it's great. Do you wanna buy some tea? If it's no, then cool, go eat the hot dog, whatever. You have a yes or a no. You have a final answer. So you shouldn't be, worried about what they're gonna say. You either know that their answer is going to be 1 of 2 things, or they're gonna ask a question, okay? Cross off with a highlighter. I told you guys that. Set a deadline for this virtual grand opening and building your list. If you're serious about your business, you should have your list made within your first 24 to 48 hours, and it should be extensive. If you want to make $2,000 to $5,000 a week, your list ain't going to cut it being 20 to 30 people, okay? My first list that I made was probably about 2,000 people, and this is me going back to like people that I can find on Facebook that were my dance teachers in elementary school. Ask Miss Sherry. Miss Sherry is one of my reps, and she taught me dance all through high school, okay? But anyway, set a deadline for yourself, not for me, for yourself. And send me your list so that I know that you've made it, so I know that you are taking this seriously. With this call, you are either going to produce people that say no, people that want more information, a customer, or a rep. 4 different types of people, okay? These are going to be not just, when you do a virtual grand opening, you don't want to blast this on social media because it's going to ruin the psychology of it. You want to call. I don't even want to say send, because some people will send a mass text message that's like this long that you have to scroll through to people, and that's usually not going to work. Pick up the phone and call someone. I'm going to go over what you should be saying when you call them, but this should be people in your phone, people that you know from work, people from your church, people that you can talk to, okay? But if you blast it on social media, it's going to ruin the psychology, because when you're doing a virtual grand opening, it's like a pre-launch. Like, I thought of you first. I think that you're really going to benefit from this information, and I really want you to be a part of it. Do you want to get in front of this movement that's about to happen? Okay? Only one page of note left, Katie. But anyway, so in the virtual grand opening, before you get on with your sponsor, you're going to tell them different names of the people that are on it and their professions that they're in. Maybe something about them, if they have kids, or if they maybe have a disability, or, you know, they've had cancer in the past and got through it. You need to tell your sponsor certain things about these people, because we can tailor your pitch directly around them. For instance, if I knew someone on the phone used to work for Comcast in the sales department, I may tailor my pitch a little bit more to that. If I know that someone is a pole dancing instructor, I may tailor my pitch a little bit more around that and talk about that a little bit so that they feel special. And this is cool because it will actually, it'll help them visualize themselves doing this business. They will visually see themselves being able to do this business. If I say, hey, you can offer, you know, if you're a pole dancing instructor like Sharia, then you can offer an NRG with emu oil for all the bruises that you get after the pole dancing class, and a nice, relaxing, refreshing tea for afterwards to head home with, okay? I'd be able to personalize it a little bit more and tailor the pitch. But figure out for your virtual grand opening, out of your list, you want to highlight your aces, your starting lineup, and you call them and you say, this is what I found, this is what I have, and you become a master storyteller, okay? You create your story. If you don't have one, or if your belief isn't strong enough, then you share someone else's story, okay? So when you call to invite someone, you literally want to call them and say, hey, you know, I got myself on something here. Do you have some time available at 8 p.m. to take a listen? You know, I can only have 5 people on the call tonight, but I wanted you to be one of them because I really respect and value your opinion, okay? That's something similar to what you would say. But when you call, you want to let them know, you first ask them, do you have a second? If they don't have a second, they're going to be rushing and they're not going to really be listening to what you're saying. Second, you want to be busy. You always give yourself a time limit. Hey, I have about a 10-minute car ride. You let people know about how long you have to talk so they don't, you know, start filling in the time with things that are nonsense, okay? But you want to be busy. Number 3, you want to start with a power question. Do you or anybody you know want to lose 5 pounds in 5 days? Let me ask you a serious question here. Are you making enough money? Or, you know, whatever your elevator pitch is, it should be very quick, 15 seconds, and it should be a powerful question. To make them be like, like, you know, if I figured out how to make $1,000 a week on the internet, would you want to know about it? Whatever it is, make sure that you have a power question, and don't be scared to take it away from them. If they're like, oh, well, what is it about? You're like, oh, you know, I don't really have time to go into all that right now. I have to call, you know, these 4 other people who I want to launch the business with. You know, do you think you'll be able to get on? I'll talk about it more in depth later. And they start asking questions, or they give you a maybe, you take that opportunity away. You say, okay, well, I'll call Katie. She was actually 6th on my list, so I'll just have her fill your place, okay? Don't be scared to replace someone and take the opportunity away. Once you know what you have, you won't be scared to do that, okay? Edification is huge, you guys. You need to learn how to edify someone. And when I first started, I was like, edification, I need to learn how to talk good about someone else to someone I'm trying to get to learn the business. It didn't make sense to me, especially when I didn't know personally a lot of the people that sponsored me into the business. So I was like, okay, well, what am I going to get out of calling someone and talking really well about, his name was Greg, he's not in the business anymore. What am I going to get out of that? How is that going to help me? Maybe they'll want to join the business with Greg instead. That's what was going through my head. You know, of course, I can always highlight someone's, you know, pros, but I didn't understand what it was all about because I just didn't. But this, once you learn how to do it, is a major key in your business, and it will take it to the next level, okay? Because after, let me put it to you this way. If I get on the phone for my virtual grand opening. And I tell my story, oh, I'm so excited. And, you know, I lost 7 pounds in 5 days and I cannot wait to get my NRG in the mail because I've heard such good things about it. Oh, by the way, here's Katie. She's going to do the presentation. That did absolutely nothing. But if I get on and I talk about how excited I am about the products and my aspirations for the company and tell people about my why, about how I want to pay for my kids to go to private schooling and Montessori school, then I'm like, oh, and if you think that's cool, wait until I tell you about this girl, Katie, that I partnered with. You know, I may not have made a lot of money in this business, but her story is amazing. You should see her. She just took before and after pictures. She looks like a completely different person. I know her husband is happy with this body that she's created, and her 2 kids are absolutely amazing. You know what? I even saw her swimming laps in a pool because she can't run anymore because she broke her foot. I could not believe it, how dedicated she was. And I couldn't think of anybody else that I would rather do business with. Matter of fact, she does this for a living. She got a bachelor's degree in training, so she can really, really, really help us, you know, develop a system for our business so that we can get this thing going and make a lot of money. Katie, are you on the phone? Don't you think you would want to listen to her? I would. So really learn about edification. Now there's edification triangle to make it make sense, okay? You are here. You have a relationship of trust with your prospects, okay? They trust you because they know you from a friend, you're a referral, whatever. They trust you because you know them. Now, they don't know me. So they are trusting you that you trust me. So you're building respect between me and your prospect, if that makes sense. That's the other part of the triangle. Between me and your prospect, there's respect, and between you and your prospect, there's trust. So you have to bridge that gap and make them respect me and trust me as well, so that I can share the information and become a credible source. But if you don't do that properly, we can tell when we get on the phone if they're not like excited or know a little bit about us or whatever. We can tell when edification has been done properly. So make sure that you edify someone. And it's not always me. Like I could talk about someone who just joined the business, and I always edify the person back. If Katie got on the phone and edified me, and I went back afterwards and was like, oh, and by the way, Katie is amazing. I couldn't think of a better person for you to join business with because she is so committed to this team. You know, and I would re-edify her and solidify their decision to want to do business with her, but just be like, oh, by the way, not only will you have this awesomeness right here, but you're going to have me too. Okay. So that lets them know, you know, what is it? Can I do it? Is it real? Can I do it? And will I have help? That's going to solidify it because now they have 2 people. And if you don't have a story yet, you can lend on mine a little bit. Okay. So that's the edification triangle. You need to learn how to tell someone else's story and be just as excited about it as they are if it was your own story. For instance, with Austin Freeman, I can tell you his story. You know, sometimes I tell it better than him, I think. But I can tell you Austin's story, you know, off the back of my head. I know his story because I use it all the time. I bring him on the calls all the time so that I can leverage his time and his story. So, what else was I going to talk about? Okay, you need to take the focus off of yourself when you're edifying someone. So, you know, you want to specifically be like, this is Katie, blah, blah, blah. Say all the things you need to say that I just said to edify Katie, and then shut up, okay? That's when your job is done. When Katie gets on the phone to start answering questions or asking, you know, them to close the deal or whatever, you don't want to interrupt and be like, oh, and by the way, you forgot to talk about blah, 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 blah. Don't ever interrupt once the process has been started and you introduce your third party. But at the end, let's see, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the edification process, before we even get on the phone, they should have this feeling of like, wow, you really know this person? Like you've built them up so much to be like they're a celebrity, a god in your eyes, if you will. And these people on the other line of the phone are like, wow, you know this person? Like, you know, that's awesome. And, you know, that's when you're like, oh, okay, well, I work directly with her. And if you want to get to her, you have to go through me, kind of thing. Okay, does that make sense? And you get them on this call or whatever after the 3-way begins. You get them on a phone call, but you have to follow up afterwards. Don't follow up right after the call. If they don't text you right afterwards, follow up the next day because you don't want to seem desperate. Usually I'll be like, hey, sorry I didn't get to you last night, but I was helping 3 people enroll. Okay. So do something like that. Follow up the next day. And you always ask, what did you like best about what you heard? this will give you the opportunity to highlight certain aspects. You know, if they like the compensation plan, you can be like, yeah, well, I just got my check in the mail for $2,400 and it's only my 7th week in the company. You can highlight and, you know, solidify whatever it is that they like about the business and expand on it a little bit. After you do that, you always want to do the 3-way call that I was telling you guys about. Like I said, the trust, respect, and the person re-edifies you on the phone to solidify that the person is choosing a good sponsor, and you also have extra help through the upline. But your sponsor will solidify the decision. They'll answer questions, any questions that a person might have, and then they will make sure that they know about the packages, but they will not. You got to understand, someone that is responsible for a 3-way call or is a good person in this business to do a 3-way call list will not let someone get off the phone without trying to close the deal for you. Because after you've put someone on some information where they know that you're going to make 50% of whatever they enroll with, they may think that you have a biased opinion. So you bring a third party on and you're like, you know, that person answers all your questions, let them know how they started, and then they ask for the money. What package are you ready to get started with tonight? Okay. Lastly, do not waste your sponsor or upline's time. If you are going to do a call, a virtual grand opening, a meeting that you want them to come out to, make sure that you are doing your part by getting committed answers. So you don't deal with just maybes or, oh, I think I can make it. You deal with people who are excited and interested and are fully committed to coming. One way you can do this on an in-person event is ask them to bring ice, okay? Ask them to bring something to the event. But I always follow up with people before call and say, hey, call starting in 5 minutes. Are you able to get on? I saved your space for you. It's packed out. Whatever you have to say to get people on the phone, but make sure there's a committed response. So don't waste their time. You know, people could be doing other things, but they took time out to help you. So make sure that you're doing your part in the call by getting people on, because the call is not going to make any sense if there's no one there to listen. Okay. I think I did pretty good. What time is it, Katie? Oh, I did bad. Sorry, guys. Katie, can you unmute?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, you guys. Well, I guess I already did a pretty good edification of Katie. You learned that she was swimming laps today because her foot is broken. She also went to school for training. So she's not just like, oh, this is like fun. I mean, it is fun for her, but this isn't just like a hobby for her. She went to school and she knows it. Like, she knows what to tell you, get you moving. She got me moving today. That's why I'm so excited. But anyways, you know, she's amazing at this, and she continues to motivate and inspire me. And I can think of no better person to bring on the line tonight to tell you. She's actually a Bible study teacher, believe it or not. And she's going to teach you guys about the Bible tonight.
I sure am. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, girl, I can hear you loud and clear. I'm going to mute myself.
Jackie thinks it's so funny that I'm a Bible teacher because I'm a little crazy. But you know what? I do believe in God, and I have a strong background. And what I'm talking to you guys about tonight, you do not have to be a Christian. You do not have to be a Bible teacher. What Jackie just told you is that you do not have to be anything but yourself. And that's exactly what I want to talk about tonight. I found an awesome illustration in the Bible. It's a story about David and Goliath, and I was so excited to do our training call last week. I want to kick it back to Jackie real quick and just thank her for allowing me to do this, because it is like my favorite. I get really, really excited about things, and I am personally just very inspired by this company, by Jackie, by these products, by how much my life has changed. It's such an honor for me to be able to work with the top global retailer and recruiter in the whole entire world, y'all, not just the company, not just the US, the world. Everybody knows her, and she's our leader. So if you want to edify somebody, you're going to edify Jackie because you are connected to her, and she is 100% available to you here on this Hangout, on the end of the phone, in the Fitini group. She's amazing. So thank you so much for doing everything that you do and for letting me do what I like to do. So let me just get into it. Last week in Sunday school, you know, my teacher was talking about David and Goliath. With it, if you're not familiar with this story, it's a very well-known Bible story. The reason it's so popular is because it's got a really, really simple moral, right? And it's kind of interesting. And I got all excited. Jackie was like, weren't you psyched about something last week? Talk about that. And I was like, oh yeah, man, David and Goliath. So my teacher is going over this story, which I've heard, you know, hundreds of thousands of times. The gist of the story is this little boy comes and kills a giant, right? So that's the end of the story, right? So we have a situation where you have a city that is being taken under siege by an army. And in front of this army that's about to kill and take over this whole city and take their king captive of Israel, is a giant. And I've heard that word before. I've heard this story, and I did not know what that meant. And my teacher did a great job of visualizing that for me. She said this guy was 9 feet tall, 9 feet 9 inches. That's crazy. I was on the phone with Jackie, like, he was a real giant, dude, a real one, like, not just like basketball tall. He was a giant. They sent this warrior out in front of the army to terrify the kingdom of Israel and to tell them, hey, we're coming for you. We're going to take you down. And the army was so scared. David was a little boy. He was like 15, okay? He was a shepherd. His job was to keep a bunch of stupid sheep safe from wolves all day. That's all he did. He wandered around with sheep. He made sure they ate. He made sure they didn't go falling off a cliff. And if a bear came, if a lion came, if somebody came to get his sheep, he killed them. He went with his bare hands and he killed them because his job was to take care of the sheep. I want you to think right now about you as David, and what is your job? What do you go into your job every single day to do? Whether it's process mail, whether it's being a training professional, a tattoo artist, a nurse, a doctor, a teacher, a speaker, whatever it is that you do, you're going in every day and you're doing something and you're doing it for somebody else because that's your job, right? That job is priming you for your life's purpose. It is God's way or the world's way or the universe's way, whatever you want to feel. It is your life priming you for your real purpose, okay? And when I got into TLC, I really unlocked something inside myself. And I said, it really clicked with me that everything that I've done, everything in my life has helped to prime me for this moment in this business, okay? So David, who takes care of sheep and kills bears and fights with lions, that's his job. He's 15, he's tiny. He comes up to this army to feed his brothers. His brothers were warriors in the army, right? So he comes up to feed them, to just kick them some bread and cheese, check on them, how you guys doing, what's up with this dude I heard about. And he sees this giant walking back and forth, taunting an entire kingdom. A full army is terrified to go up to this giant. And he says, yo, what are y'all doing? Like, this one dude, I could take him out with my little rocks, man. I've killed bears bigger than this guy. I fought a lion with my bare hands. Like, what is everybody so worried about? And the king heard that he was saying this and was like, okay, dude, come here. You think you got something? Come here and talk to me. And David went to the king and he said, I don't really understand what you guys are doing, but I'll take that guy down. What do I get? And the guy was like, you can have anything you want. You'll be my right-hand man, right? If you do what you're supposed to do, if you do what you say you want to do, you slay this giant, you can have everything you want. Do the work and you get what you want. So what does David do? Takes his little rocks. He's got this little pack next to him. He's got a little slingshot. A 15-year-old little boy with a slingshot walks up in front of two armies, his army and another army. 9-inch giant, dressed like a scorpion. Okay, can we make a movie about this though? Walks up to this dude, takes a rock out of his pocket, whips it around, slings it at dude's forehead and kills him. Dead. Done. One move, okay? It was one move. Think about that because you made your move already, you guys. You already said yes to TLC. You are already facing the giant. The giant is your fear, man. Everyone is so scared to get into this, but I'm telling you, how many people have you talked to about this business and they said no? They were not meant for this. They have not been bred up for this. Their life's purpose was not to share something like this with the world, right? Some of you guys are young. I know people on our team that are 18 years old. This could be your priming moment, okay? This could be building you up for your purpose. But if you're not going to take full advantage of this situation, if you're not going to face your fears, if you're not going to walk up to the scary moments and throw your rock at them and take them down and do what you need to do. Jackie just laid out all these wonderful things. You guys, you don't have to have a car. You don't have to be able to book a hotel. If you can get on the phone, you can grow your business. Make your list. You are genius. You are strong. You are amazing. You are so wonderful. Do not let the giants of this world get in your way. Before David walked up to this giant and killed him, his brothers and his army and his king were laughing at him. They were laughing. What are you going to do? But they didn't have any other option because they were all too scared. all the people in your network that are too scared to jump into this opportunity, you are the one that's going to show them what it takes. You are the one that's going to show them that they can benefit. You are the one that's going to triumph, and you're going to bring them with you. I do not have anything else tonight. I just wanted to get you guys excited about that. I hope you are. I think it's really cool. David and Goliath. Hey. TLC.
Katie, I was wondering exactly how David and Goliath was going to relate to TLC. I was excited to hear the story, everyone, because Katie was really hype about David and Goliath for a whole week. And I was just like, okay, David and Goliath, cool. But now I see how it really relates to TLC, and that's the part that I like seeing. So I'm excited to go out there and kill a 10-foot? 10-foot giant dressed in a scorpion with a single rock. Who's with me? Are you down, Katie?
Yeah, girl. Take them out.
Boop! Peace, what did you say last week? TLC. What did you say when you got off the phone? It's like, TLC rocks, I'm out, bye. It was something really crazy. Okay, but for real though. Bye, you guys. I'm going to work on my eyebrows being the same shape so I can run my business correctly. Bye.